Yes, believe your eyes. This is the Terran tutorial, everybody. Welcome to the first part of the Terran tutorial. I'm sorry that it took a long time. I'm extremely busy, but I've squeezed in the time. I also did wait for Season 6 to get in so I could play on the maps and play with the new Terran and the new late game of Zerg. But here we are today with your Terran tutorial. For all of you Terran players out there, I'm sorry once again, but now I'm happy to bring you your educational set of videos. This is a 4-part tutorial where we will go through playing from the lowest level. I've lost my placement matches, and I've got a story to talk about those placement matches in a minute, but I've lost the placement matches. There's fresh account, brand new, purchased this morning. As you can see, named Terran, learning T, and I'll explain that is also with the story too. And what we're going to be doing today is looking, first of all, in part 1, of course, we're looking through the settings to make sure all the settings are good for our educational reasons to be playing Terran. And then we'll start to build a plan for each different matchup, builds for each different matchup, so we can hit that ladder hard and focus all around macro, safe play, and look at some timings, of course, to complement those safe plays. So let's go into Starcraft, and I can't hear any sounds in my Starcraft, so I think that's one of the settings I'm going to have to personally change, is to bring in some sounds. So, oh, there we go. There's some sounds. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit as it feels a little bit too loud in my headset, and it should be fine in the video as well. Everything here is good. Graphics, medium, they have to be on low. So the reason why they need to be on low, it's not, it's not necessary. It's not 100% necessary, but I prefer it if you guys are playing the game, for educational reasons. You should have it on low. There's no reason to have it on high. It makes it look better, and that's it, right? You don't get any benefits from high, but you get a little bit more benefit from it being on low, because you don't get distracted. The minerals aren't glowing, the trees aren't blowing in the wind, and it's just a very basic, simple, black and white game. And so we're going to have that down on low, and that's it. Voice seems fine, don't need to touch that, of course. Mouse sensitivity, this is just my personal settings and my scroll speed. My personal scroll speed is a little bit higher than the keyboard and drag speed, but these are personal settings. You guys can adjust them to how you feel fit. Gameplay, status bars on always, of course. We'll have the menu bar unclickable, not hidden. Game timer on, that's the most important thing. And yes, that seems fine. And we're going to save all replays too. You guys should do that. We will set to busy when playing a game. Only allow friends to send me chat messages. Only allow friends to send me invites, just in case we get spammed. And let's continue with this to make sure we change the graphic settings and relog into Starcraft. So let's go in here and into the game we go. Alright guys, so here we are into StarCraft, and as you can see, fresh account. Let's go to multiplayer here, and the reason why it's not called Team Dignitas this time around, it's turned Learning T. Guess why? Because I went into the placement matches, you'd never believe it, placement matches as Team Dignitas. I lost the placement matches to go into Bronze, and there was already people messaging me saying good luck with the Terran tutorials. And much as I appreciate the good luck, I cannot believe I was found out without even playing a single game. That's weird, isn't it? But nevertheless, we are ready now, as you can see, as Learning T in the bottom of Bronze League. We haven't played a single game, and we can look at that here. As you see, 0 wins. Let's start from a fresh account. So, before we do start playing, we will be playing for about 35 minutes, 40 minutes or so from here, and that will roughly be, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe more games. Depends on how things go. But let's talk a little bit about race-specific strategies and builds. So to start this off, we'll look at the mirror build, Terran versus Terran. You guys should be definitely opening up with barracks, then refinery, into a decently timed factory, but it's going to be like a factory expand. It's a very safe build. As long as you're building marines, you're going to be able to defend against most all-ins as well, so you hit a scan down in anticipation for any cloak banshees. It's going to be a very focused build. So just to summarize that, it's going to be factory, tank, expand. We'll look at the specifics in game of gas timings and so on, but it will be factory, expand into whatever the hell you want to do. Maybe it can be mech, maybe we can do bio, we can do a bit of both, to be honest with today. It really doesn't matter what you do as long as you have the fundamentals down correctly, which is supply depot building we'll talk about, SCV production we'll talk about, and so on. Against Zerg, so Terran versus Zerg, I was actually thinking about doing mech for you guys today, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to play a usual style of bio mech, which is, you know, marine heavy, medevac, and tanks. The reason why I thought about doing mech for you, because it is easier to play against banelings, but at the same time we're going to look at things today which will help you out against the standard style. And to be honest, it's better to get into the rhythm and to the style of playing marine tank than to take the easier route and then have to switch after. So we're going to be playing buyout tank here. Builds we'll be looking at is reactor heli and expansions into 3 barracks, medevacs, into expansion, into tank production. Very, very simple things, but obviously once again specifics we'll go into in game. And finally, versus Protoss, we are going to be opening up for 1 barracks and a refinery into a simple defensive marauder expand, and then adding on additional barracks, tech it up, factory engineering bay, and so on. Very, very simple play. Anything else I need to think about before we get this underway? Versus random, we'll, you know, obviously be scouting earlier, and we'll just open up with a refinery no matter what. We'll be walling in no matter what, and we will be not walling in against the other races as well. But apart from that, everything seems good. So instead of talking, Sean, let's start to play. So let's open up with the first game of today and see how things go. I know I've spent a lot of time playing Terran myself and achieved high masters in season 6. Didn't have enough time, of course, never have enough time to get grandmasters because my MMR isn't high enough, but I've got high masters with Terran, so I'll be able to teach you guys the way, the style to go up to there. And as long as you keep practicing and you follow just like you did with the Zerg tutorial, just like you did with the Protoss tutorials, you'll find success somewhere. Maybe it isn't rising straight to masters, of course not. But you'll find success, and the majority of people that watch those videos had success in climbing up a league or rank or whatever. So, Shipyard Plateau, the first game of today, Terran versus Zerg. So, on Shipyard Plateau, we will be going for a wall-in, of course. So, I'm going to try and keep things as simple as possible. You know, for example, the split before we go talking to things is drag a box and then split them in 50, send it left, split in 50, drag to right. In terms of our plan, we need a 9 supply wall. So when we hit that 9 supply in the top and here at the top, and I'll show you how to do it, you simply pull the command center down like this, right? You pull it down like this, and now you can have that SUV go there to build the wall in. Aside from the wall in, of course, we're going to be going supply depot, barracks, supply depot. We're going to be getting a refinery on 17 supply, and the reason for that is because this is the style I want you guys to do. You don't need a rush for Hellions, right? We're already going to be playing at a decent speed. You want to focus on macro, and it's not unsafe to do this either. So we're going to be going for a very regular 12 barracks, but 17 gas, and then a pretty fast command center on the low ground. But you'll see. You want to be scouting every time in these early stages after supply depot. Every time. No reason not to at all. So and because you have to look for cheese, you have to see what the hell's going on if he is doing anything funky, just so you know, and you want to get in the habit of doing it. So we do see his drone on the minimap coming to our ramp, so easily pull off and just keep this guy. So if you struggle with harassment, very easily pull a guy off and just have him harass that drone, that probe, whatever. As you can see, we haven't taken gas, and even if he runs home, then just come back and then just go back to mining. And our wall off is almost done. I hotkey my barracks already on 6, as you can see. And we're just going to go scout now. And we're going to wall in with this guy here. So you can already shift. Shift is going to be a big important factor in everything we do. It's very, very important to keep that button. So we see an early spawning pool. It's not that early, but it's like 10, 11 supply or something like that. So we just return home. We get the gas, and we also go up to orbital command. We hide this SCV on his natural because we just want to see when he takes the natural, and then once we do see it, very easily we can go ahead and send it to the third base or something. So we'll let this guy come in, and we'll wall off and complete that. Have these guys, of course, building one by one into gas. There's a 17 gas finishing up, and you'll see a very nice timing of where we can get the factory come down. You'll see after our expansion, because we are going for a pretty fast expansion. So we are consistently building marines here, and we see that has he expanded? All right, no, still no expansion. Granted, this is Bronze League, but we do want to be sure. So because he hasn't expanded, I would usually build the command center on the lower ground here, but I'm just going to build it in the main, and this is something you guys should think about too, because we don't need to go down, and we're putting ourselves in a little bit of danger because of that, because he hasn't expanded. Maybe he's got a baling nest, maybe he's got a roach warren, and now we're going to go in and see what he's doing. And by the way, there's that really nice timing with the 100 gas as you build it after the command center, and there's a roach warren. So what we're going to do is very early on here is just build a bunker, because he could be obviously very aggressive. We'll send the SCV to go hide once again, and we'll just continue to build. We'll actually get a reactor, sorry. And even though he's gone roaches, this is fine to go for the reactor, because he doesn't have that much money to support this, and we're going to have a bunker, so we're going to be absolutely fine. We will grab that supply depot, of course, and we'll just hide up here, and we'll go check his expansion again shortly. But I feel that it's not really to be aggressive, it's just this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But as long as we're reading what's going on, this is fine. So we'll just cool down another meal, we'll get into the bunker, and of course that's fine. And then what we'll start to do now is just add on the extra barracks. So we'll add on these, we'll switch this over as well, and we'll get a tech lab straight down. And then we'll lift the factory up and put that on. Keep building SCVs. We're only on one gas always, and we're gonna get. Oh no! Oh, gotta cancel that. Oops. Okay, we're gonna get the tech lab here, and then orbital command. And let's just poke him with our SCV again. And still no expansion. So what we're gonna be doing? There's his roaches. There's his little push. So as we know, it's already coming. We have Marauder gonna be starting straight away, and we can even get concussive shells here too. No problem. And we can have Hellions doing damage, because if he's coming up the ramp, right, he's gonna be filtered for Hellions to do more damage. So, and yeah, whatever. Alright, so Marauder's coming, and we'll just stay on one base. There's no reason to move down. And even on these, I'm gonna start adding on tech labs, and then we're gonna grab another gas. So, we'll do that, and then we grab another gas now, and we grab a supply depot. And here's this little push. You can pull some SCVs down to repair, but to be honest, you don't even need to do that. So whatever he damages, you repair, and he's doing the bunker, so whatever. And then hotkey all your barracks up, and very easily, this is going to be cleaned up, right? And then we just build a couple more Hellions, send these guys back to work, and then immediately we expand. So we lift up our command center and we go down. We call everything down out the bunker. We salvage the bunker and we go down. And we're waypointing everything down here. As we've got the second gas, we will be adding on the starport. And yeah, we're just going to move down. So very, very simple start here for us. We can get stim shortly as well, and we'll start to expand. And you can clean up. And to be honest, what we'll do is we'll just push out and secure the win. But yeah. So very easy game number one here. Why is there only one in there? Okay. And just need a couple supply depots. Build 2 supply depots at once at this stage of the game. That's a cool tip for you guys. Is when you run. Additional supply depots required. When you're on 2 base, build 2 supply depots at once always. You know, it's like very simple to do. And what we're going to do here is just go with the hammer, and the hammer will be the medevac. So we'll switch across now, and we'll go. So yeah, as you can see, these 2 guys building, even though we've got a supply, because I'm talking a lot, you just immediately build 2 more supply depots straight away. And you will never get supply blocked, basically. So let's start the 2 medevacs, and then we'll push out. And we can even scan his natural in 15 energy's time just to see what he is doing. And it's pretty much, we know what he's doing. But yeah, and this is the game number 1 for you guys. So I hope that we read that well and you enjoyed that. And let's scan his natural. So keep building. Obviously got everything hotkeyed up. You can have starport on 7 here as well. Scan. There's his expansion. Still more roaches coming. But with 2 medevacs, he can't do anything. You can even use another scan, to be honest, and see. Yeah, no drones. Whatever, this guy doesn't know exactly what he's doing, plus he's playing against the Apollo. And let's move out. So we just attack move into his army. We don't have stim, you don't need stim. You just keep building SCVs all the time. You can add on 2 more supply depots again. And then we can add on the new command center, which is what we will be doing as throughout the entire series. Not just this game, you know, in the later stages when we go higher, we'll be adding on that extra extra command center. You can throw down an engineering bay if you want to upgrade. You don't want to add on tanks this early, because even if he does have banelings, and this is a lot of mistake I see people make, is, yeah, I need tanks versus banelings. Well, no, not at this amount, because he's not going to have that many banelings. So as long as you can just move out and spread back, and I'll show how to spread in a game that someone does use banelings. It's very easy. And with macro, you don't even need to look at the base compared to in terms of supply depots, of course, but in terms of building units, you don't need to, because you can hit 6 that and 7 DD, and you just consistently build units, right? And anyway, we'll stim in a second. Stim is almost done, and then we'll just close this up. So stim, attack move, build more units, 6 AA DD, and then 7 DD for your medivacs, and we walk in, and that's gonna kill his queen, and that's that. And then you come back, these two guys building your supply depots, make him build another one, and he didn't build one because there's a little bit of lag. And we come in and we kill him. Alright, so pretty simple game number 1. And we can lead straight into game number 2 now as this guy leaves. Combat shields has been added on straight after, and as we have this new base, you can add on new barracks and so on and so on. But that's game number 1 against Shadow King, and let's go straight into game number 2 here, as we have roughly 25 minutes remaining. We want to play as many as possible. Yeah, the 2 SCVs building, so let me just elaborate a little bit more on that. 2 SCVs building per base. So imagine you're on one base as Terran. You go supply depot, break, supply depot, supply depot, supply depot, pretty much all the time. There's a few little breaks, which you can leave it idle. You don't need to shift click it back, you can leave it idle. And then 2 base, you go 2 supply depot, break, 2 supply depot, 2 supply depot. And on 3 base, you can go 3 supply depot, 3 supply depots. So depending on how many bases you're at, depends on how many supply depots to build. SCV production should always be consistent, should throughout the entire of the game. There's no reason to ever stop building SCVs, and you just continue to do that. So now we do have a Terran versus Protoss on Antiga Shipyard, and we talked about the style previously. It's going to be a regular barracks, refinery, expand. So barracks, tech lab, expand. So knowing that we have to build a tech lab, we can have the barracks like here, supply depot's fine. Well, actually, no, we're not going to wall in. No, yeah, we are going to wall in. Indecision. The reason why we're going to wall in is because of possibility for you to get cheesed in the lower league. In the higher leagues, I wouldn't wall in, saying that I don't need to wall in because the possibility of cheese is low, and I want the, more chance to make more money rather than building stuff so far away from my base. And obviously, the closer you build to your base, the shorter walking time that the SCVs have. So of course you have more money because he's not losing money walking back and forth. But we will investigate the natural. You don't need to investigate the here if he's building a supply depot, if you're building a supply depot on the ramp, because he's going to have to walk past it, so you'd be a bit silly if you lost that. So you can poke down a little bit just to be careful, and then return back to build the supply depot, to build the barracks, and then just go back. My hotkeys as Terran it's very similar. I always have my command centers on 3, 4, 5, and then my army will take up 1, 2, maybe 3. Let's get this refinery, and then my production facilities will be 6, 7, always 6, 7, 8. And that's because I'm awkward. You don't have to copy that. Again, it's personal preference. If he doesn't harass your SCV, you don't need to chase it. This is one of the things I learned. And what is he doing down there? Maybe adding on something there. I don't know, but it doesn't matter anyway because we're going to wall in. But I coach a lot of people, and they just immediately as the probe comes in, they chase it, and I'm like, why? And then people say because I don't like it touching me. As weird as that sounds, you don't need to worry about that. And we'll get we'll go scouting out, and we'll get the orbital command out. And we'll wall in. So just check, because the probe did run around there, and it is there, but it doesn't matter, he's not doing anything. So let's go now scout, and we are building up. So from here we want to go straight. We'll put the marine on the other side to chase down the probe, and then we'll just add a tech lab really fast, and then go into marauder production. So tech lab, chase down the probe, and then we're straight into marauder production. Hotkey in the barracks up. I'm getting this SCV back in here, and there is the probe. So marine can come back inside now, and then mortar and concussive shells. So it's on 6 my barracks. Okay. Oh, right, yeah, not tournament. Okay. Not playing cross position only. I don't know why in my head I just thought that, so sorry. But now we don't really know. That's kind of bad because now we don't know is he bottom or is he top. But it's okay, it doesn't matter too much. The biggest weakness of this Marauder expand would be a proxy Stargate. So we want to be checking gases when we go in just in case. We have built another supply depot. And as you can see, our minerals are climbing where we can move down to expand shortly. And this is really bad for me not to scout early, so I'm sorry that I didn't scout early and scout. But we see one barrack, one gateway, Twilight Council second. So it looks like it could be DTs. It obviously still could be Blink too. But either way, we're going to expand, and Marauders are pretty good against both. But we just want to be sharp on our engineering bay timing, just in case it is DTs. So the engineering bay wants to come down at like 6 minutes is fine. Let's build another supply depot. And that is researching, so looks like it's going to be Blink. It would be weird if it's Zealot Charge, I guess. So, and you can tell if it's researching because the white lines, the white strips, show you. Look, the white strips are going up, so it's researching. So what we'll do is we'll just go hide this SCV and we'll poke in and just like come back again. We'll be careful about DTs. So we will go ahead and just get that engineering bay at around 6 minutes, which is now. But DTs come at 7:30, so we can bank up energy to maybe get the first one, because we do want to slap down the first two barracks here. So we'll do the barracks and then the engineering bay straight next. And we'll hide the SCV up here. So we'll do the engineering bay now.
Not enough minerals.
And we'll cool down this. And because we're going for the engineering bay, we can get another gas, because you want to be adding on, you know, we do have stim already being researched, but you want to be adding on like probably double reactors, to be honest, is my preferred, because Marauders are there to slow and Marines are really good DPS wise. So we're going to add on double reactors and we'll get a second barracks because we want to also get +1 attack and maintain Marauder production off that one barracks. So as we go in now and we get +1, we build a turret on the natural just to be sure. And we'll add on double reactor. And then what we'll do now is we'll poke in and just be sure what he is doing. We have waypointed down to the natural because we have a lot of SCVs. You suppose you could transfer a few and just leave the waypoint more there. Okay, so he denies it, which is fine. We probably want to build a supply depot here just to make sure he doesn't do hallucination or observer blink into the main, and we just continue to build units. Because we don't need, we've expanded and we're going to scan to see if he has. No. Okay, so now we just need to know that, okay, there's the warp in, fine. And it looks like this, there are DTs, you see? And that's what the turret's there for. So even though it looked like it could have been, and we don't have any scan available, so these DTs are going to be a pain. So that was a bit bad of me because I presumed that it would be something else. But we can wall in, build another turret, and we will have energy soon. And just keep sure you're building units, because that's what the wall in helps for here as well. So we'll just run around. Turret is building. Energy in 10 seconds. We're still building in the main. And even if we lose guys here, scan is almost ready. We'll try to run round. Okay. And we just use to buffer in. And what we can do now is run down with these and get one SCV to build the next. So even if that comes down, we have another scan available. And we again just waypointing units down. And why are these not hooked up? And now the turret completes. And now that is all in stop. So to be honest, I could have dealt with that better. To be honest, and I almost lost a game in Bronze League, which is funny. Okay, they're hooked up now. Okay. And now it's stopped. So that's the way that I should have done it, and I really should have done that better. But it doesn't matter because we're still going to be able to hold this off now. But it should have been held off better, as you can see. And even my hotkeys aren't down here. But yeah. So that was a little bit bad by us, but it's over now. And what we're going to do to secure the win is we're going to save up all energy now, and then we can just push when we have about 100 energy or so, like 2 scans available. And there's nothing he can do. So that's going to be the killing blow here. Get combat shields as well, and we'll save up all our energy. But that's how to read the game. I guess I read it. I read it okay. I read it okay. Follow-ups from this can be multiple things. They can be, you know, there's our 2 SCVs by the way. Building it now, it's just as we get supply blocked. it can be, the follow-ups from this can be Archons, can be Storm, tech switching out, but it's usually going to be gateway units. You don't need to worry about
additional support. Not enough.
like Colossus or anything along those lines. You definitely don't need to be taking any gas on the natural either, because you can see that we have a lot of gas as well, because that killed a few SCVs and we were mining off 2 gas. So, and we just keep these guys consistently building these 2 things, and we'll see his expansion now, and he'll be defending with just DTs. So we'll leave like 4 Marines in to defend a counterattack, and we'll push out now, and we'll just keep building, and we can start we saved up, you know, almost 200 energy, 4 scans available. And we'll even see if he does decide to do anything here. We'll go in, so. Alright, so get your scans ready. Alright, let's go in. And then this will be able to finish him off. His combat shields finishes as well. So I expect him to have a few DTs for sure. Yeah, there's one. So, there's one. And you can see that by the waves, and he'll probably open another one again, hoping that I don't have another scan. But yeah, so that's going to be that for this guy, and we're safe against counterattacks as well. You can throw down the factory now and start to prepare for medivacs. There's another one, and you just save up as many scans as it takes, and eventually run out of resources. You won't have enough because we still have 130 energy, so we'll do it again, and we just have another one and another one and another one. So if you slow down the gas income, you probably can't build another one, but even if so. So what we'll do is just pick off all these, and without pylons, of course, no gateways means no warp-ins, and that's that one game. And then behind this, of course, I've slowed down with supply depots and bases, but GG. And well played. Had to sweat a little bit more than needed, but that's why the wall-in helps a little bit too, but I should have saved scans in anticipation anyway. So let's just check that guy. Probably still bronze, right? Yeah. Yeah. Almost lost to a DT Russian bronze. Time to go into the next game. So we got enough time from this game and maybe another one, we'll see. Swedish water's good. Alright, so Protoss again. So we'll sharpen up on that, and we'll just make sure to save scan energy rather than have to go through that. But apart from that, everything else was fine. We read the game fine, we saw everything fine, and we go into this next game. So we're going to use the same build again, everything completely the same. Of course, as we reach that 9 supply, we'll waypoint up here and we'll build the supply depot so we can wall ourselves in. And at this stage of the game, you don't really need to do anything. Like, the dragon in the box doesn't really do anything for you either. You can put SCVs together and work together, such as this, like that. They do have a little bit better efficiency when they work on the same patch, because they don't mess around, but they don't want to work together, so that's fine. I'm not going to force them. And we will scout after supply depot every time. That was another mistake we made in that previous game, is that we didn't scout straight after. And on this map, of course, there's no close by ground, so we'll scout straight after and then build the supply depot with another SCV. Alright, so supply depot finishes, scout goes off, and then we pull off about 110, 115, like now is fine, 120, and then we'll build that straight away. Build it here, and come back, double tap 3 to come back, of course, and then build another SCV here, and then shoot down to the bottom. Safe builds, safe timings, crushing nerd skulls. So what is this? A forge? Okay. So what we're going to do here is, because he's gone for a forge, we're just going to go for a bust really, really fast in terms of like 3 barracks bust. The reason why we're going to do this is because number 1, he's chasing our SCV around. Number 2, cannons are terrible versus marauders. So very easily we just add on like 2 barracks and we'll just go and expand behind it. So just game reading, understanding that he's trying to go forge fast expand against Terran, which is pretty bad. So obviously hotkey the barracks up, go into gas, and just wall in anyway. It's funny, he's chasing around with a lot. We can probably salvage that SCV and try and get out. Yeah, so this is very bad play by him, very, very bad indeed. So this will be a very clean win. And even if he has like 3 cannons, there's nothing that can stop marauders, man. Marauders are beasts. So We'll add on the extra barracks, and we'll just move down to prevent some scouting, and just keep building stuff. So what we're gonna do is we'll just go straight for stim.
Not enough minerals.
I guess. Let me think about it. We can go straight for stim. We don't really need concussive shells. So as soon as we get 100, we'll go straight for that. Of course, we want to be building a supply depot very shortly here.
Insufficient.
Of course.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Build a marine just so we can get stim out a little bit faster, and we'll add on a supply depot now. And we'll probably just go for another tech lab here. To be honest, I mean it's another tech lab on this barracks because you don't need to be building marines here. It's just tech labs will just destroy everything. Marauders, that is. So we'll just add on another marauder, and we'll go with about 6 marauders. And around 6 to 7 marauders we'll have stim ready. So what we'll do is we'll just cool down the energy, and we'll expand behind this. It's no problem. We'll just build another supply depot straight away.
Add on.
So just keep adding on. We can get concussive shells eventually. We'll not reveal the marauder and just kill the marine. Oh, I may have seen that. That one popped out, but whatever. And we'll expand behind this very shortly. Bit of a silly build by him for sure. So we'll get concussive shells next. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll probably go with 6 still, and we'll probably go to expand now as our money's starting to climb up. And we'll get concussive shells. And we'll throw down that command center. And where we can go now. Just waypoint the barracks to these guys. And then just go. We'll have stim by the time we get there, just about, as you can see. SCV just hotkey or waypoint that, build another supply depot. And I think this in itself would actually just win the game with stim. But we'll keep building. And from here on out, you grab another gas, and then we can go up to factory. And even if he does defend this, we can just drop in the main. So he's got like quite a few cannons. So we'll just definitely wait until stim is done, which is just a few seconds time here.
Not enough minerals.
So as stim finishes now,
Research complete.
and you can shift click.
Not enough minerals.
And look, you know, it's just like, you know, marauders are pretty good. And now he has no tech. We're going to have concussive shells, and that's his wall down. And we've got reinforcements coming in, 2 at a time. We can throw down that factory now, get into the gas. We can transfer down. Orbital command. Yeah. Yeah. This is pretty rough for this guy, unfortunately. He's trying to build units, but we just turn the gateways off or kite zealots all day long at this level. Look at that. And all you need to do is just like click back, attack move, click back, attack move, click back, attack move to do that successfully, by the way. And you just kill 2 zealots, and we'll just target down those. You can add on, to be honest, I don't think you should just go for a killing blow, so just add on like 2 more barracks and ramp up the production. Turn off the gateways, kite the zealot, and even with the stalker. And you just pull back whatever the zealot gets closest to. And now with the gateways down, yeah, GG. Bad builds is countered easily, and we'll play another game. Woohoo! So let's go straight into this. I'm already top of Bronze League almost. Granted, it is a new league because we just created the account just now. So look at it at the time. Should definitely be able to squeeze in another one. Maybe not a second one. So this may be our last game of part 1. Hopefully we get a Terran, so we can have a look at Terran versus Terran 2, because I really do want to show you guys that build. If not, you're going to have to wait for part 2. Here we go, we are loading. Yay, versus Terran. Woohoo! Versus Terran. So let's look at this build. So, to be honest, you don't really need a wall in. Oh, I'm not playing versus Terran. I was going to say, you don't really need a wall in, but I was going to wall in again anyway, just in case. I think at this level, there's no reason not to. Like, the money that you guys are going to gain from not walling in is going to be dropped because you get supply blocked at, you know, whatever. Alright, so random. Alright, that's kind of cool too. So, and it's on Tal'Darim also, which is nice. So, alright, so of course we're going to be scouting
Not enough
after
minerals.
supply depot. We will be walling in with a supply depot on here as well.
Not enough minerals.
And we will be manner and say good luck, have fun, learning T. Because even in my placement matches, people knew who I was. That was crazy.
Not enough minerals.
Alright, so he says good luck, have fun as well. Let's see if he's silver. Maybe. Maybe we've breached silver.
Not enough minerals.
Maybe. Of course, waypointing down to the ramp. Oh, not really the ramp. Ah, bronze. Never mind. Alright, so go ahead and build a supply depot.
Not enough minerals.
And we can go scout straight after. So you can shift click and send that guy in. And the reason why I said it in probably the first game, I think, that shift click becomes really, really valuable to you as a Terran player, is you can move tanks and shift click E to get them in siege mode as they get there. You can drop, so you can send a drop all around the top and then hold shift and drop it into his main. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do. So we'll go ahead and just wall in here.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough
And
minerals.
just with an add-on. I think that's wall off. I don't know. I've actually not really walled off as a Terran player here. Maybe I have to pull it back and put the wall in there. Yeah. I don't really wall in on this map as Terran, even against Zerg, because I'm Imber. So anyway, take the gas. Just generic build against random. Scout. So he's not there. Send down. Hotkey the barracks up. And we'll go into the refinery very shortly here. Oh, he's Terran. Okay, cool. So I get to show you the Terran build. Yes. So we go into gas.
Base is under attack.
So you can actually just shift click this back and he'll be fine. Just build a marine. And even if he attacks, what you do is we repair. So you press R, repair, and he attacks for us. But he doesn't need to. So you need orbital command. So he's in the bottom left, and he runs out, so we just keep the marine there. We need a supply depot. We can build another marine. And then as we hit 100 gas here, we're just going to be building that factory.
What's going on?
So let's build a factory about here or something, that's fine.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
And then we SCV and cooldown.
Complete.
This better be good.
Not enough.
And constant and marine production, and the reason why you need constant marine production, just in case he's doing some form of all-in, that marine production does help out a lot to help around the tank. And he's walled in, not building anything from the barracks, so he's probably teching up towards Banshee. But we'll see. So what we're going to do now is we'll stop marine production. Okay, he's building another one. And we just keep the SCV there. We'll throw down the expansion very shortly here. And the tech lab, and then we'll get the second gas. So let's throw down the expansion now. He scans us at a weird time.
Not enough minerals.
Throw down the tech lab. And then we'll throw down the refinery, and then we'll start marine production again.
Minerals.
Another marine building. We're going to be scanning, by the way, at 6 minutes is our scan timing against Banshees.
SCV ready.
Add-on complete.
So get first tank out now.
Additional
Oh, supply depot.
depots
Oh,
required.
oh, oh, oh. Alright, we'll slow down that tank for a while. I guess we can get siege first, and then get the tank next. I forgot tanks take up big supply. Stop marine production at 4. Could be doing like a starport or whatever, but we're about to scan soon with our next energy. At like 20 energy when that gets up there, so we'll scan it like between 6 to 620 is fine. No later than 620 though, and I think we'll be fine with that. So we'll start our first tank now. You can build a bunker on the natural as well, and I feel that he's coming just to push us away. So we'll just move back down here, and very shortly we'll build that bunker. We'll get into a bunker with a marine. We have a tank, and we'll scan. Scan's going to be a little bit late here, so what I'm going to do is just throw an engineering bay down anyway. It's going to come just after about 6:30, so. But we should be fine. So let's scan straight away now.
Not enough energy.
Okay, so he's gone for like a bit of everything really. Bit of tank, bit of everything. So what we'll do now is throw it on starport so we can just have a Viking production out straight away. And we'll take a gas on the natural pretty fast. Just to take advantage that we're an expansion ahead, and in Terran versus Terran, the expansion really is coming from gas. So,
SCV ready.
and we'll just play it safe.
SCV ready.
We'll play it so safe, where we play it that safe, we're going to get a turret anyway. Because even if he goes for a Banshee without cloak, just anyway. And we're going to get tanks in good positions on the high ground, in siege modes. I'm going to get into this gas now, because we're going to have higher gas income than he has, because he hasn't expanded. And we're going to get a tech lab down, reactor, so we can start producing Vikings at a higher count. And we're handy, Bill and John are going to get our supply depots building for us now too. So let's just poke in
SCV ready.
and see if he has expanded. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't.
Not enough energy.
If he hasn't, he's just going for a one base push, and he hasn't. So what we'll do now is we're going to build a bunker we can salvage in time. So we're going to build a bunker here, and the reason for that is pure scout, just pure scout. And we'll play mech from here, so we'll get another gas. We'll play mech. I do like mech. So we get another tank now. He could potentially drop us on our main, so even though we got 2 tanks sieged up, that's good to hold. But now we want everything else waypointed into our main, because we need to think of how can we lose this from here. You know, really, how are we going to lose it? And we could get dropped in the main and have everything on the front. So, and we should be fine if he pushes us straight on the natural, because we have 2 tanks. And what we're going to do is just scan again. And there's a tank there, there's something up here. An engineering bay. It doesn't make too much sense. So what we'll end up doing probably is just pushing out with our factories when we get them all up and running, and we'll get this Viking up. We'll send our SCV to scout everywhere on the map to make sure he hasn't hidden expanded, as in the lower leagues people sometimes do that. And we'll just get a tech lab and reactor, and we'll just check now and scout with this. But overall, SCV production consistent. Waypoint down to the next ground here. And we'll just waypoint everything still into our main for now, and we'll just see what he's doing. And it seems fine. It seems like he's just bunkered up. What's down here? Just 5 Marines. So what we'll do is we'll just go knocking on his door, I think, because he's got a Viking of his own. Don't really want to take a fight there because we didn't take the first hit, so we'll just come back and repair. But with our Vikings of our own, we're really good. We'll get Blue Flame as well, and then we'll push out very shortly here. So just make sure you get everything hooked up on 6, which is my replacement this time around for the barracks. And we'll just go to the Zalnaga Tower. And we'll stop SCV production because we're fully saturated on both bases. And we're not really looking to expand here. We're just going to push with 4 barracks. Little supply block here. So when you get supply blocked, build 3 supply depots in a go. Because if I notice people build like 1 supply depot and it's like, alright, I'm going to get unsupply blocked. And then you just get supply blocked as soon as you get unblocked from supply block. So, and what we're going to do now is scan again, and we'll just go ahead and start to siege up there. That tank is in range of hitting, and so will this one be. Yeah. So just use your Vikings for sight range on the tank, and then we just get in range, and that is in range. Oh no, it's not actually. Just unsiege and go up a little bit more, and then up a little bit more again, and you're in range. And you're always just like hitting 6 to build more stuff, coming back, building more supply depots. And you're just going to roll over this guy. You can build a new command center if you want to, but it's going to be a win anyway. And we just get right in deep. And he's pulling SCVs now too, so. And that's that game, gonna be won. He runs away. Oh, I didn't even see, I wasn't even looking at the minimap. It's got a base up here, which is why we got to check. I actually wasn't even looking, I just like even forgot about that, to be honest. I was like, alright. So if he's gonna be weird and start to just float everything, then just... Oh. Wow. Alright. Alright. It's just awkward people being awkward.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Yeah. Oh no, it's in range. No! Ow! Alright, you didn't see that. Yeah,
is under
this is
attack.
weird.
Additional supply.
This is weird. It's like I'm losing supply depots. I'm like, no.
Not enough minerals.
Well, he hasn't got any buildings floating, I suppose.
Our
But he's thinking he can win with water turrets. Guess what, friends? Oh no. This is getting annoying. Alright, it's time to kill the ravens.
Can't hold him alone.
Auto turrets do considerable amount of damage there. You see that? Like that. Alright, this time. Oh no, I've done it again. Done it again. Back. Alright, GG. GG! And you don't even need to concentrate on your super late game mechanics due to that. You know, you can just win through there. And this guy, high bronze, the end of, rank 6, a lot of wins, and we end up taking the first win and the final win against Terran. So I hope you guys have enjoyed part 1 Terran tutorial. Of course, we'll be going into part 2. And that will be coming out to you shortly. Of course, I've got a lot of stuff on my mind and a lot of stuff to do and commentate, but be expecting that soon. And tell your friends about it. If you've got Terran friends that want some basic builds, that want to learn how to play Terran at a very simple level, and even though I'm playing a bit faster, as long as you know what to do and it's mapped out for you, you can pause this video, you can write stuff down and continue with that. It's very easy to learn and pick up things on. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. This has been Sean D. Apollo Clark signing out.